Inspired by the groundbreaking lessons of Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad, this is not a summary, it's a story. A reimagined journey through the lens of a young man named Alex, who finds himself at a crossroads, searching for guidance in a world driven by money, fear, and ambition. What follows is more than a financial awakening, it's a transformation. Welcome to Growth Engine, where powerful ideas don't just inform, they ignite. Like and subscribe before we begin the video.
The world out there is a brutal wilderness. It's a jungle of concrete, steel, and spreadsheets. For a young adventurer named Alex, the terrain was proving treacherous. The familiar path was crumbling beneath his feet. He had followed the map given to him by society. Get a good education, find a secure job, and work hard. But the supplies were running low. The paycheck, his primary source of sustenance, vanished almost as soon as it arrived. Bills like unseen predators lurked in the shadows, ready to pounce and drain his resources. He was caught in a survival situation he was never trained for. Every day was a battle, a fight against the rising tide of debt and the gnawing feeling of being trapped. He was working harder than ever, pushing his limits, but he was only digging himself deeper into the financial quicksand. The safe job he'd secured felt more like a cage, its golden bars promising security but delivering only stagnation. The horizon, once bright with promise, was now obscured by a thick fog of uncertainty. Alex knew he needed a new strategy, a different kind of map, if he was going to survive this expedition and find a way out of the dense undergrowth of financial struggle. He was at a crossroads, a critical decision point. One path led deeper into the dense, familiar forest of employment, a trail marked by countless others who had walked it before. It was a well-trodden route, promising a predictable, albeit meager, existence. The other path was overgrown, mysterious, and daunting. It led into the uncharted territory of financial independence, a land few dared to explore. Alex felt the cold grip of fear. Staying put was dangerous, but venturing into the unknown, that was a gamble that could cost him everything. He needed a guide, someone who had navigated this wilderness before. Finding a way out became his sole mission. He wasn't just looking for a temporary shelter or a quick meal. He was searching for the skills to thrive, not just survive. He needed to learn how to read the signs, how to find nourishment where others saw none, and how to build lasting shelters that could withstand any storm. The jungle was unforgiving. It didn't care about his degree or his work ethic. It only respected one thing: results. Alex braced himself, took a deep breath, and prepared to take his first step off the beaten path. The real adventure was about to begin. Deep in this wilderness, Alex stumbled upon two seasoned guides. The first was a man named Saul, a veteran of the corporate jungle. Saul was the sage of safety. His survival philosophy was simple: find a secure cave and stay there. The world is dangerous, Alex, he'd warn, his voice low and cautious. Your job is your shelter. Your salary is your ration. Don't take risks. A steady paycheck is the most valuable tool you can have. It protects you from the harsh elements of unemployment and uncertainty. Just keep your head down, work hard, and you'll be safe. Saul's camp was neat, orderly, and fortified. He showed Alex how to budget meticulously, how to save every spare crumb, and how to avoid the perilous cliffs of debt. His advice was practical, grounded in a deep-seated fear of the unknown. Your home is your biggest investment, he'd say, pointing to his own modest dwelling, but it's also your biggest liability. Don't overextend. The goal is to minimize risk, to build walls so high that no financial predator can get in. He taught Alex how to survive by being defensive, by conserving energy and hoarding resources for a rainy day. Just when Alex started to get comfortable in Saul's camp, he met another guide. This one was different. His name was Rex, the Maverick of Money. Rex didn't have a fortified camp. He had a network of outposts all over the wilderness. He saw the jungle not as a threat, but as an ecosystem teeming with opportunity. Fear is the real trap, kid, Rex declared, his eyes blazing with energy. A job? That's just renting your life away to someone else. You're not surviving. You're just a well-fed captive. True survival means creating your own sources of sustenance. Rex's methods were unorthodox, even reckless, by Saul's standards. He didn't hoard his resources, he deployed them. Your money needs to be your hunting party, Rex explained, sketching a diagram in the dirt. It needs to go out there and bring back more resources for you. A fancy house, a new car, those are liabilities. They eat your supplies. You need assets, things that feed you while you sleep. He spoke of businesses, real estate, and investments not as risks, but as tools for hunting bigger game. He was teaching Alex not just to survive, but to conquer. Alex was caught between two powerful philosophies, two masters of the wild. Rex decided it was time for a practical lesson. He took Alex to the edge of a raging river. That, my boy, is the river of cash flow, Rex announced over the roar of the water. Saul would tell you to stay away from it, that it's too dangerous. He's right, it can be. But this river is also the lifeblood of the entire jungle. The poor and middle class camp on its banks hoping to catch a few fish. The rich learn how to build canoes, dams, and irrigation systems. They don't just take from the river, they control its flow. The first challenge was to build a simple raft. Alex, using the cautious principles learned from Saul, wanted to use the strongest, thickest logs he could find. It was slow, painstaking work. Rex shook his head. You're building a fortress, not a vessel. You're focused on not sinking. You need to focus on moving. Use lighter materials. Build it fast. If it capsizes, you learn, and you build another one better this time. Failure isn't fatal. It's feedback from the wilderness. This was a terrifying concept. It meant embracing risk, inviting the possibility of getting thrown into the churning rapids. They launched their small, nimble raft. The current was strong, and fear gripped Alex. He saw jagged rocks and unexpected bills, market downturns everywhere. Saul's voice echoed in his mind, screaming warnings of caution. But Rex was calm, expertly steering with a long pole. These aren't just rocks. They're opportunities, he shouted. That one, a chance to buy a distressed asset. That whirlpool, a market panic where the fearful sell and the bold buy. You have to learn to read the water, to see the patterns and the patterns. Stop fighting the current and learn to use its power. Slowly, Alex's terror turned into exhilaration. He began to see what Rex saw. He learned to distinguish a dangerous rapid from a fast-moving channel that could carry them forward. He understood that his paycheck was like a bucket he used to scoop water from the river's edge, tiring and inefficient. An asset, however, was like a water wheel, placed in the current, spinning day and night, diverting a steady stream of water directly to his camp. It was a profound shift in perspective. He wasn't just a survivor anymore. He was becoming a navigator. The final lesson was an ascent up a towering mountain. Rex called it the summit of assets. From the top, he said, you can see the entire jungle. You see where the resources are, where the dangers lie, and where the opportunities will appear next. The climb was grueling. Each step represented acquiring a new asset. The first few steps were the hardest. Alex started small, creating a tiny side business, a small stream of income separate from his job. It was like finding a small foothold on a sheer cliff face. Saul's voice was a constant companion on the climb, a ghost of caution. It's too high. The air is thin. What if you fall? He'd whisper in Alex's mind. And there were falls. A business idea failed, an investment soured. Each stumble was a painful lesson that sent him sliding back down, but with each attempt he grew stronger. He learned from the falls, adjusted his technique, and started climbing again. Rex's wisdom served as his climbing rope. The rich focus on their asset column, while everyone else focuses on their income statement. Keep your eyes on the summit, not on your feet. As Alex climbed higher, his collection of assets grew. A rental property here, a small stock portfolio there. Each one was another handhold, making the next step a little easier. He could now see over the canopy of the forest he had been trapped in for so long. He saw his old job for what it was: a safe clearing at the base of the mountain, comfortable but with no view. He realized that financial security wasn't about the size of his paycheck, but the strength and diversity of his assets. They were his climbing gear, his safety net, and his path to the top. Finally, he reached the summit. The view was breathtaking. He could see the entire financial ecosystem laid out before him. He saw the river of cash flow snaking through the landscape and the well-worn paths of the masses leading to dead ends. He was no longer a lost adventurer, but a master of the terrain. The fear was gone, replaced by a quiet confidence. The journey wasn't over, but he now had the map, the tools, and the mindset to navigate any wilderness. The epic adventure of money was just beginning, and the horizon was limitless. The only question left is, are you ready to start your own ascent?
Press the like button and subscribe for more amazing content.